Lindsay Blogs The Bachelor, Lauren B. changes Arie from Kissing Bandit to The Bachelor this week. The ladies finally leave the country and jet across the Atlantic to Paris, France. While the ladies are exploring Paris, Arie sits down with Chris Harrison to update him on his journey with the women. After Chris talks with Arie, he greets the women to inform them on how the week will progress. We learn there will be 2 one-on-ones, a 2-on-1, and a group date. Read Us Weekly's full recap here. Lauren B. gets the first one-on-one. I, for one, am very interested in this date because Arie seems to be very into her. He is beyond excited and told her that he saved this date specifically for her. I have to admit that this is the most life and excitement I have seen in Arie since he licked the bowling ball, and I am afraid if she pulls out the coconut milk, he may just get down on one knee. There's something there between these two, and I want to know what it is because I do not see it yet. As I am watching this date unfold, I realize I will have to wait a little bit longer, maybe never, to learn more about his connection with her. The only thing I can say about this one-on-one is wow. Oh wait, I'm sorry, that is all Lauren B. said. I think no more than 10 words were said on this part of the date, and he is trying to force something that is just not there. I can tell Arie is a little concerned. Later that evening, Arie is working overtime to get Lauren B. to open up. You know, I think guys are painfully obvious when they really are into a girl. He is going above and beyond to make her feel comfortable. Eventually his efforts work because Lauren finally said more than wow, and we see a deeper side of her that is sincere but guarded. Additionally, we get more insight into Arie's romantic past. I actually enjoyed hearing more about Arie's past relationships that did not include Emily Maynard. Arie and Lauren B. bond over past heartaches. They created a better understanding of one another and he gives her the rose. One thing that I did notice is that Arie does not kiss Lauren the way he does every other girl in the house. It was gentle, patient and sweet. The Kissing Bandit left the room and the Bachelor entered. A date card arrives at the house revealing a group date. The only names not on the date card are Kendall, Jacqueline and Crystal. Crystal assumes that she will be on the 2-on-1, leaving Kendall and Jacqueline another date to await their fate. The ladies get to go to Moulin Rouge. I am insanely jealous. The girls get to dance and wear costumes on an iconic stage. Some of them learn choreography while Tia attempts it. I love that fact that she can laugh at herself and have fun. That's a good quality in a woman. We also learn that Sign is a dancer. What can't this woman do? After trying on costumes and sashaying in front of Arie, the ladies learn that the woman who gets the rose on this date gets to dance on the Moulin Rouge stage that night with Arie. The ladies move on to the group date evening portion to spend alone time with Arie. After watching Arie's date with Lauren B., I am beginning to notice something. With Lauren B., it is the first time we see Arie reassuring the lady. He is eager to express his feelings rather than just listen and kiss. He is eager to learn more about her. When Arie was on that date, he opened up to her, expressed emotion and constantly reassured her how he was feeling about her and the strength of their relationship. As Arie sits with these women, it is the girls expressing their emotions with Arie reassuring their feelings for him. I'm just saying, Arie passes the rose out tonight based on the feelings he has with the woman and not their daytime performance. He gives the rose to baby Becca and I am a bit surprised. You know how I feel about this relationship, or the lack thereof, because it is evident he does not see a future with her. I honestly believe he passed this rose out to the girl who would appreciate the Moulin Rouge experience the most, and that was baby Becca. The two go on stage and perform in front of a group of angry birds as the women glare at them having the time of their lives. Can I just add that Tia may not have learned the choreography, but Arie did not learn the lyrics to that song? Thank goodness for baby Becca's animated expressions that saved the performance. Meanwhile, the girls back at the house get a date card and learn that Kendall and Crystal will be going on the 2-on-1. Crystal stated that there is no one on her level. Agreed. Crystal has basically been preparing for this moment since her limo exit, while Kendall is confused as to her purpose on the date. Has Crystal seen the show before? Apparently not. These moments usually don't work out too well for the Crystals of franchise. The next day, Arie takes the women to a chateau in the French countryside. After some exploring, the women enter a maze where they have to search for Arie. Crystal finds him first and he pulls her to the side to talk to her about the temper tantrum she threw last week. Arie says one thing to Crystal and it was as if her response was to a completely different conversation. Crystal throws Kendall under the bus. Arie kisses her to shut her up. Later, Arie tells Kendall what Crystal says about her never being in love and not being ready for the seriousness of this type of relationship. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a classic 2-on-1 where the ladies are not just batting for Arie but now against each other as well. Kendall's response to Arie regarding love is genuine and real. She may have never been in love before, but this girl is definitely ready for the person who can bring that out of her. She gave the realest answer. I loved it. In a last effort to save Crystal from delusion, Kendall really tries to understand and empathize with Crystal but to no avail. I truly think Crystal does not hear people when they talk. She only talks and does not listen. A frustrated Kendall gives up, and so do we. So do we, Kendall. But Arie does not and decides he needs more time to determine whom he is giving the rose to. Arie, you are going the wrong way. Is delusion contagious? Are we missing something? Crystal has got to go. Kendall and Crystal continue their conversation into the night, and it is nothing less than frustrating. Conversations with Crystal don't make sense, and they really are not conversations. It's like you tell Crystal A, and she starts talking about a letter that is not even in the alphabet. Finally, thank goodness, Arie sends Crystal home and gives Kendall the rose. Did anyone notice the way that Crystal was nodding her head during Arie's speech? It was as if she thought he said Crystal instead of Kendall when giving out the rose. I have not seen a more clueless person since Cher and Dion. I truly hope Crystal watches this back and learns from it. Lauryn Hill said, "The only way to know is to walk, then learn, then grow." Crystal, if you are reading this, make that quote your mantra. Next up is Jacqueline, who has pretty much been non-existent throughout the journey. I am excited for her date and excited to get to know her. Arie picks her up in this classic convertible and then the car breaks down 1.5 minutes later. Let's hope this isn't a metaphor for their relationship. Arie then takes Jacqueline shopping. She looks beautiful in the dress, but can't walk in her heels as she stumbles through the rest of their date. Again, let's hope this is not symbolic of their relationship. She says that because she has never had a date or received a rose on a group date that she was afraid she was more of an experiment than someone he is about. I love that line. It was extremely direct, and she forced Arie to address the realness of their relationship. All of this is an experiment, but I feel where you're coming from, Jacqueline. Arie then tells her that he feels she is too intelligent for him. That would be a turn-off for me. Accept the challenge and don't settle for mediocrity. Step up your game, brah, read a book. Take a class. Phone a friend. Like Jacqueline in her heels, the pair stumble through this conversation, as it is evident that he does not see their lives fitting together outside of this experiment. Arie says that they have different lives, and pretty much everything said thereafter leads us to believe that he will not give her the rose, but for some reason, he does. This relationship does not look promising. 4 dates this week means no cocktail party, and we move straight to the rose ceremony. Good. We have waited long enough. Jenna and Chelsea go home. I was a bit surprised to see Chelsea go home because they had such a good date just last week, and we were all beginning to really like and understand her. Jenna was not much of a surprise here because we never saw their conversations, but she was clearly a house favorite. The girls learn that they are going to Tuscany and everyone is excited except Lauren B. She has a moment after the rose ceremony with a producer and her emotions seem a little displaced. Did we miss something? I do not understand the root of her emotion. Even though it is sad to see her break down, it is nice to see an actual emotion from her. But enough of that, can we talk about the previews for the rest of this season? I cannot wait for the upcoming weeks. I can't wait to see you back here next week, same time and place, where I will give you my real and raw take on the rundown with Rach.